Alright. Welcome to the channel. Saturday, December 1st, 2018. I believe it's already December. December is here as well as. So what is it, 24 days till Christmas now? We can do like the Christmas countdown. Yeah, so who do we have in chat? Welcome to the chat. Libra, hey, how's it going? I am doing awesome. I'm glad it's December. It is 1 November over with. How are you doing, Libra? Just basically had a lazy Saturday for me. I didn't go endure anything really too strenuous anyway for today. It was a pretty laid back day. It was a nice little chill day. Kept me balanced today, so I was definitely balanced. I'm stressing. But I had this experience happen to me yesterday, and it really blew a hole into my plans. What happened was I was going to do live stream. I was supposed to do a reading for someone yesterday. But then I had somebody come into my house and decided to call my meditation music, what is it called? I can't even think. A seance, that I was having a seance because I was playing native music, which really blew my mind that she would even say that. But she's not very bright when it comes to saying things. Thank God it wasn't, she wasn't sitting right in front of me because I would have talked to her. But that wouldn't have been very nice of me either, right? But calling what I do a seance. She's like, well, this is exactly like a seance. And I'm like, wow, you really are dumb. You really are dumb. So it blew a hole into my plan of doing a stream yesterday afternoon. It really took me a lot to really get through that. Like, the job I do, she's obviously, jealous of what I'm doing, right? Because she can't. She doesn't, unfortunately, have a lot of friends. She has to hang out with her kids' partners to feel like she has friends. 56-year-old woman that hangs out with her son's friends that he hangs out with. Like there's a bit of a loose screw there, I think. But hey, who am I to say anything? So yeah, so I was quite offended that she came into my home and decided to just be so disrespectful. It really, really set me back, and I couldn't do it. I could not actually do a reading yesterday because it bothered me so much. And then goes and proceeds to get on her phone and tell everybody about it. You know what I mean? Right? So I didn't get to you guys yesterday, and I want to apologize for that. It was out of the best interest for everybody that I didn't do any readings yesterday because of that situation that happened. And she put a lot of negative energy into my home that I had to clear because I wasn't doing any readings. Then it went from, doing seances to F you, F you, F you. Like just the whole energy level in my house got disrupted yesterday. I was in my perfect spirits to do it yesterday, and then it just got thrown a curveball and blew my day out the whack. Right? So I think about you guys first before I do readings. I'm not going to come in here and with my, situation and then have it, falling over into the cards and being an emotional attachment to the card, right? You know what I mean? I didn't want that for anybody's reading to have to go through that. So yeah, the person's not welcome in my home. Like simple as that. You don't disrespect my home and think you're just gonna come around and disrespect it. So that privilege has been stripped of this person. And I'm really not even caring. Honestly. Today after thinking about it, it was like, all I can do is say, yeah, I hope she gets better. But when you're dealing with that type of energy, I like to say narcissistic, even though we all have a certain level of it, it's more prevalent in other people. Um, doesn't like anybody that her son's dating. She'll talk behind the back. Anything you'd say to her or have anything to do with her, it would end up getting funneled through the gossip line. She's 1-800 gossip is how you can reach her. Which is unfortunate. I don't like talking bad about people, but when you put yourself in the predicament of making yourself look like an asshole, then I'm gonna obviously treat you as an asshole because that's what you want. Right? I'll give you what you want, but you won't get what you need. So yeah, so if you want to act like a fool, then I'll treat you like a fool. Like, not, not. It wasn't by choice yesterday. It was very, it was something that I have experienced with this person before, and it's never going to change. It always comes in. We should be coming here talking about people that have died and how emphasizing she is on the details. And it's like, I don't want to hear the details of someone's death. Like, seriously? I have no use for, talking about the dead. And that's the way I work. I don't disrespect it. But just blurts out the most random shit. And I drew a line on that yesterday. That's it. I'm not having it affect my work, my card readings for you guys, right? So let's get down to it. So we're going to do the overall energy reading for all signs. And we're going to do a kind of a little bit of an extensive read one. I did one the other day. Um, so the general cards. We're going to use just a Rider-Waite tarot for now. We'll use the other ones for readings later. So I'm a little bit more balanced today to be able to do readings. It's not really affecting me as much as it was yesterday. So definitely in a better situation, better calmer state, And I just smudged my house when this all happened, right? She stood outside the circle, which I wanted her to stay outside of the circle personally. I don't want it to have to affect, but keep all the positive in and keep the negative away. That's what the intention of the circle is. Protection. I do that to my home, but probably maybe I should spend more time doing that, like more every day, so it gets more balance. What's been going on? It's been a very stressful week. Not getting exactly what I want to do done, but hopefully we'll get there. We will get there slowly, one day at a time, right? Yep. All right, Mr. Cogs, what do you have in store for us today? Let's see. All right. Oops. Ooh. This isn't looking good, guys. This really isn't looking good. It's a lot of in reversal. Oh, we got a death card showing up. Wow. Wow. Some big changes going on here. Not in a positive sense either. We got the first card up was the Hierophant in reverse. Oh, I forgot to take the outcome card. All right, so the Hierophant in reverse. We have the Devil, right? So the Devil, Justice, Temperance, the Knight of Cups, Death, the Seven of Swords, the Ten of Swords, and the Lover's card in reverse. So a lot of endings happening in the next little while. And even the universe is stepping back for these endings to become, final and time to move on. The Hierophant in reverse. We've got the Devil facing up. Your introspection into the relationship that you may be in. This looks more like a lover's reading today. So if you're, dating, you may find that things are going to get a little bit rocky for a little bit. Situations that might be a little bit more arguing. That could be, not being on the same page as your partner. What is the word I'm looking for now? They always do this to me. They give me like a word, and it's like, how do I translate that? You know, there's a lot of upheaval happening here, but we do have the Death card after the Knight of Cups. Even the Horse is kind of like stagnant. It's just neutral area that you need to be focusing from. Like the gray area. You're seeing a lot of like gray areas in the beginning of the reading. So it's almost like you're taking a neutral position in the relationship. That you're kind of working through your own personal experiences, carrying, with the Seven of Swords. It may feel like you're looking towards the Ten of Swords, though, and then the Ten of Swords pops up. So it's almost like you took a shortcut to get out of this situation. I think it's like somebody's trying to remove themselves from a relationship, to stay neutral. There's not really a reasoning behind why they want to have this ending come, but I think it has to do with a lot of self-reflection that you need to take time to do. We have the Lover's card in reverse for the final card. So this could be just a temporary situation. I don't feel it as a permanent situation based on the energy levels. But there's definitely time to cool off period that you need because of all the upheaval that's going on in the relationship at this current state. It could be going from a 7 to a 10 in stating that the outcome will be an ending of something and a new beginning. So it doesn't mean that you actually are leaving the relationship, or you could be leaving the relationship. Right? There's a bit of separation happening, but it seems like it's just a temporary thing. To allow the Death card to finally bring in the new beginning, right? So it's like you got a double whammy. To me, it feels like you got a double whammy into new beginnings. It could be more than just one new beginning happening. Like I see the balance in the relationship, then it goes from the Devil. into temperance. Temperance is in reverse as well. Knight of Cups is in reverse. So it's like everything's getting turned upside down. Everything's just not working right now. Definitely just not a positive situation at this current state, but there is a possibility of it to be returning. Yeah, definitely it's not a permanent. The outcome card is the Six of Swords, right? So you go from a 10 back to a 6, so it could be that you're just taking a temporary break for right now to kind of get everything in balance and everything back on track with all that, it could be a result of, I don't see any third party person here though. That's what I don't understand why it feels like, there's not going to be a solution right away, but you end up going back to be able to rewrite this relationship and right your wrong if you did separate. Yeah, it's trying to balance, finding the balance within the relationship that you're having. And it might be difficult to find right now, like from a physical 3D dealing with this person, like a physical dealing, not an energy dealing. Like this is a person that you're having to deal with, that wants it to work, but they're not getting what they deserve out of it. Right? There's no balance. There's no, what do you want to call it? There's not really deception, but deceiving. There's deceiving energy within it. I'm feeling that's causing this breakup. So it could be somebody's not being honest in a relationship here. Somebody's trying to possibly hide a situation, that they want to go and explore. But yeah, this could be just a temporary separation, to allow you to work through a little bit of the relationship that may have gone south and just wasn't on the same page of understanding. There could be children involved as well. So, you're trying to make the best of what you have in the situation. You're willing to take whatever possible help there is, but stop dealing with it on your own. You don't have to do it alone. But there is a lot of neutral energy that's showing up. I see the second color that I see is like a warning color, like yellow. But I do see that there's a lot of love in this relationship that, is there, but it's just not being found right now. There's just not any reciprocating feelings between the two parties at this point. And maybe this division is allowing you guys to understand each other on a more personal level, but you don't even understand yourself first to be able to create this relationship. So you're taking the time off to figure out if this is really what you want. This could have been a new relationship that just started, but don't take it all too personal. Don't run away from the problem. You have to face the problem directly, right? Clarification. Are we finding anything else? So it's just like a mini separation. I don't see it as a permanent situation because it comes after the death card. So this could be, the new beginning once you've gotten rid of the past kind of energy going. But it is going to be definitely worth the wait almost. It's like divine intervention has finally divinely done it, right? So the Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands is going to come in. So you could be dealing with another fire energy, a fiery energy, like a positive, more upbeat. It may be a different way for you to approach this relationship. The universe is allowing you to create this without the universe's direct intervention, right? So you have to basically go through the motions and work at trying to figure out where you're wanting to go with this relationship. It might have moved a little too fast for you, or it's moving too fast in regards to being in a lover situation. Because with everything happening on the cards today, it's like everything is just going really fast. Everything's kind of just like, almost like you're blurred in regards to what's going on around you. You're not seeing the truth and, learning that there is unbalance in the relationship. But it's moving too fast for the dating situation. So you're taking a chance at it. But maybe that's why things went a little too quick for the relationship. That isn't bringing you guys together any faster. It's almost like they've kept you apart so it doesn't, universe isn't working. Like the universe is working with you, but it's like there's no awareness in regards to, those the spiritual being understands it, but you in the physical 3D are just like confused and all over the place. But the Knight of Wands will almost kind of put a stop to that. The separation doesn't have to happen if you decide to make it work. Like, the horse is ready to go. The horse is ready to leave the barn. So it's time to either saddle up and ride, suck it up, and handle your shit. Handle what's going on in this relationship instead of just taking it and just whatever. It's not a big deal. I don't need this relationship. It's not a big deal. But there is definitely a spiritual connection to this person. This person may not have even appeared yet. But it's going to take you time. Or it could be that the new beginning is going to be almost like going from like 0 to 60 in 3.9 seconds, right? So, this new beginning, it might move fast, or it is moving fast. So that's the energy. It's a fast-moving relationship that's going to come in and reveal itself to you. And the universe is kind of looking down upon it to see what happens. They're stepping back to allow this new experience to take and become part of the 3D world, right? So so there's not really anything bad that I can say here, right? But just take your time, put the brakes on if you have to a relationship that either this relationship is over, beginning this new one, or it could be the current relationship that you're in, or you're willing to work a little bit harder at it, allowing things to die off and allow new growth within the relationship. Okay, so that was a lover's reading. That was very confused. A lot of confusion going on within the relationship is what the cards are showing. But the universe is taking a neutral position because it's something that has to be worked out in the actual 3D relationship for you to understand the lesson. So the universe is allowing you to take this for now and just be independent, not relying so much on the universe to do the work for you. You have to put in your part of the relationship for it to work as well, right? You can't expect the universe to hand you everything on a silver platter. It doesn't work that way, right? The universe will give you what you need, and you have to do the rest of the work. It's like, I'll give you the paper and the crayons, but you have to create the experience, right? And that's why the universe is taking a back seat almost to allow you to grow in that direction, to be able to make a relationship work, right? So we're going to pull a card just for you, Libra, seeing as you're here. Give me a number, Libra. Give me a number that you find more, between 1 and 30 or whatever, 1 and 20 or 1 and 10. Doesn't matter, just give me one of your lucky numbers. Let's see what card we can pull based on that. Right? 11, we'll pull the 11 card. So 9, oops. So we'll do 11 shuffles and then 11 cards. 2, oh, 5, 9, oops. Lost my grip there. Ah, you got it. Okay, you guys over there? Oh, there you go. Okay. And last one. Oops. Alright. Cut. I was told to cut again. Then cut. And then we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10. Look, 10. And your card is the Ace of Wands in reverse. So the new beginning that you were hoping for, you might have to hold out for that a little bit longer. A new beginning that you were asking the universe to help, it has to be put on hold temporarily. They are working within you and working with you to be able to make this new beginning happening, but it's in reverse, so it's like there's a bit of a delay that you're going to see when you get given this new beginning to be able to manifest things and be able to move forward. Like the first, it's a lot of support that's going to be coming through for you, but just give it some time to be able to manifest it on your own. I think that's what the general theme is, to be able to take the help, but not be reliant on the help. You know what I mean? You have to do a little bit of the thumbs up work. You're going to end up doing it, and the universe will be there to shed its information to you, like through the source of energy. So I think it's just going to be a bit of a delay in this situation that you're looking for. But I see like almost like a little I see a gentleman though that's fairly dark skinned. But the path that you're on is going to take like a little bit of a dip, and don't blame that on the universe. The universe is only doing what they can. But you might hit like a little point that you kind of feel like you're stuck in the mud. But you have the knowledge and the awareness to be able to jump over that mud puddle. Like when that's coming, that obviously you're going to jump over it so you don't get stuck in whatever it is that is going to end up being one of your blockers for you to be able to move forward. And I think that's what the Ace of Wands is telling you, to be careful of your path that you're walking on. You may hit like a giant, huge, deep mud puddle that you may fall into. Don't fall into the mud puddle. Okay, steer clear of it. So that could be like a situation in a negative context. Watch out for that sticky mud puddle, because you don't want to get dirty. You're on your right path. Path is dry up until that point, and then all of a sudden it just shows up. It's just like, bam, there it is, right? So where is it? Okay. So yeah, so I think it's just a minor hiccup that you're going to experience. Within should be clear sailing after that. Like it's definitely just a little dip in the road that you don't want to get stuck in. But it's the same direction that you're heading. You're following the advice of others, but you're taking the lead on this one. You're actually going to put the effort forward to be able to make it less reliant on the universe. I'm not too sure why that's giving me universal. Get a clarifying card. We'll pull out animals. Gonna bring out some spirit animals and see what they have to say. Alright, oops. I love these ones. We're gonna get a clarifying card for an Ace of Wands. Alright. Libra. For the Ace of Wands, please. You get some clarification. Alright. We'll clarifying card for you is endurance. Endurance. So this, like I said, this is a path that you are going to have to travel with the little mud puddle in the way. But it's whether you can endure the actual situation that you're able. It's almost like you're going through a triathlon. You already rode the bike. You've got, the swim left, and then you got to run like 10 kilometers, right? Well, you're basically in the lead if you want to stay there. And the little mud puddle might not be so little when you get there, so just be aware you might need to, you know, take a bit of time to get through it, but that's your endurance coming through. You need to endure some of the bad to get to the good. So that muddy mud pile that you might hit spiritually won't be as bad as you think it is, but you'll be able to get through it. And that's the endurance that you have built spiritually, right? So we have a number 3 as far as numerology, which is a really good number. It's a very positive number in correlation to numerology. So this will actually provide you will end up having spiritual endurance to be able to get through this next little bump or hiccup in the road. So that was actually kind of cool. And then we have the healing card. At the bottom of the deck, we have the healing card. So you'll heal. You'll definitely be in a positive, more serene state of being after this kind of mini race spiritual, marathon that you've been on. Actually gives you a break. It'll allow you to take what you learned from, running that marathon course and reevaluate what you experienced, right? Hi, Daisy. So don't fear what's coming. It's nothing really bad. It's just kind of like, you hit a mud puddle, you hit a bogged out, kind of spin your wheels for a few minutes, then get out. You know what I mean? You're not going to be stuck permanently there, right? Spiritually. Are you? Right? So, yeah. My throat is so sore today, you guys. I don't know why. I woke up this morning with a really bad sore throat. So it's kind of been playing on my when I talk. So anyway, does that make sense to you at all, Libra? All right. So how's my Daisy doing? How are you feeling? Is my Daisy feeling better? Daisy's been sick, Libra. She had an accident. She hurt her bone. I like how she words things. It's so cute. I hurt a bone. All right. I'm glad it did. So, yeah. It's a lot. It seems like there's a lot of like from the, I don't know, they say this Mercury retrograde is creating a lot of this, which probably has a hand in it for sure, but I think we're more or less allowing it to happen. Like we have to take more control of our lives so that we don't have to deal with a lot of people aren't being self-sufficient. You know what I mean? Like, everybody is relying so much on the universal answer all the time. But sometimes the universe doesn't have an answer. Sometimes you have to go it in the 3D space and actually do it on your own. But they've done it to me, where I've gone and asked the universe for answers. And then it's like, I can do this on my own. Or, it's not answering like your intention needs to be clarified, or, like your wish that you made to the universe, or the statement that you made in regards to wanting or needing something from the universe. There's some people out there that like to take advantage of that. And that's what the universe is learning to, kind of take a step back and allowing the person to be able to do some solution problem solving on their own, instead of, they've had the experience of the manifestation, and then they're requiring a lot more, right? If you can get it cheap, then why not keep asking, right? Make sure your intentions are with, in sync with what you're asking for. Like if you're asking for a new relationship, but you're still in a relationship, you'll end up bringing in a third party that, doesn't really need to be there if you want to start a new relationship. You want to start on even ground, right? You don't want to have preconstrued experiences when you get into a new relationship. And that's what I think a lot of people are doing, is running for that greener grass on the other side of the fence. They're not looking at the work that has to be done with the current one. So if you think the next relationship is going to be easier, think again, because you're not resolving any of your energy from the past relationship, right? You're going to carry that all back in, and it will come and brood its ugly head halfway through your experience, right? So, those old habits that, you haven't let go of. But you have to let go of them because they're not benefiting you, right? And that may even mean you have to let go of that person because you can't fix that person, or that person is kind of, destructive, being self-destructive on their own accord. You don't need to be involved with, that karmic energy and feel guilty for any of it, right? Oh, Vinny, I've been going good. I didn't do my readings yesterday. I was telling Libra about it. I had somebody come into my home after I smudged and decided to disrespect my home by saying that I was listening to my native meditation music. She turned around and said, "Oh, you're having a seance, are you? I know what seances are. This looks like a seance," she said. And I lost it. I snapped. I said, "Don't have to fucking disrespect my house. Who the hell do you think you are? You just walk in here and say I'm having a seance. Who the hell do you think you are?" And then I said, and she's like, "Oh, F you, F you." And then she had this little smirk on her face like this. Like enticing. You know how people make that enticing, faces? Oh, I'm so scared. You know what I mean? Like just ignorant, right? So that energy kind of screwed up my morning routine or my afternoon routine for a little while. So I didn't want to come in carrying that energy for you guys. Ashley, welcome. You're here. How are you doing, Miss Ashley? Welcome to the channel, Miss Ashley. So yeah, so I was kind of off yesterday. So, and I don't like doing that's the same thing like when I make my dream pictures. I don't work on them when I'm agitated or upset. Yeah, I didn't even do one, Ashley. Like I was saying, I didn't want to actually bring that energy through, right? So yeah. But it's even my partner had a few words to say about it, right? So he was very offended, even because that's part of what I do when I do my readings. I do my meditation, but it had some native vocals, and she called it a seance. And then proceeds to tell everybody that I'm practicing witchcraft and all this shit, calling me a devil and everything. And then thinks I'm going to take it nicely when she walks into my house and says, "Oh, you're having a seance?" It was really unnecessary, so it really bothered me. It really bothered me that she would be disrespectful to energies, to spirit, and not even a clue. She just blurts out the worst. Yeah, I guess I am still a little bit perturbed by it. But, well, I just did one for Libra. I just pulled one card for her. We'll see. I did a lover's reading in the beginning, in which a lot of it's like neutral, like nothing's going anywhere, kind of stalled. Right? I'm not. It just really bothered me though that somebody that ignorant could be that rude and be so disrespectful all the time. Like I know she's got the hate card on for me, okay? Because one, I am better looking than she is. She look like a man. She will go in and discuss your business with everybody that will listen. She'll go and tell everybody that I'm practicing witchcraft now because she thought it was a seance and chose not to ask anything. But you could tell that it was native music, right? So it was just, something that she just wanted to put her foot in, right? So, yeah. So I told her to get the hell out of my house and F you, F you. She's like, I was just done. I was done. She's no longer welcome in my home. That's for sure. Not with that attitude, if ever again. I understand that she's family, but family don't treat family like that. Okay? So, yeah. Okay, Libra. We will if you're happen. I don't know when I'm going to do a live one. I'm going to try to get it more routine now, so I don't have people, coming by and interrupting. I gotta get my schedule up for next week. So yeah. So I'm just enjoying my evening quiet by myself. Partner's gone out, go get a haircut. So I'm by myself, enjoying the moment. Really enjoying this peaceful moment because I don't really get a lot during the week. So it's kind of nice to be able to relax, do some reading, fine tune my skills. So maybe, but yeah, I probably will do one tomorrow. I'm going to try doing them every day now. Um, Usually I'm trying to shoot for 4, like 7 Eastern Standard Time. So it's usually the best time that I can do them is around 4:30, 5 o'clock. So it's 5:55 people, 555. I don't know why I just noticed that, but I did. Um, I'm very big into angel numbers. That's another thing I've enjoyed getting more in touch with my personal self because the angel numbers show you as well. So yeah, 4 directions. I love the back design of these cards. I don't know if you guys can see that very clearly, but they're like little spikes, and it looks like a wheel that turns. Like those old cartoon ones. Um, you have like the little feet rolling around. You know what I mean? Like, very neat. Yeah. So good night, Libra. We'll be on tomorrow, probably about the same time, close enough. Um, you know, close enough to 4 o'clock. That's when I try to shoot. But see, I'm all the way on the West Coast, so everybody's like 3 hours ahead. So I have to start like 3 hours earlier to be able to catch you guys before you're like sleeping. Because when you guys are sleeping, I'm still up partying. No, it kind of gets you sit back and you're like, hey, what the hell? Like there's not even anybody here. They're all sleepy. They're all party poopers. So that was kind of that's the way I look at it. It's like I want to have an exciting moment doing some parts, and that's like by the time I get sometimes on here, it's like 10 o'clock, right? So we do the live thing. I prefer the live ones, versus recorded ones. I like to know what my subs are, how it's affecting them, or if it's working in their favor. Just to offer that insight or whatever, right? Have fun doing it. Like I ordered some new cards. Those other ones, they canceled the order, but apparently they're over here somewhere in the postal destruction. So who knows? I might end up getting those cards, and they ended up refunding me the money because it was showing that it was already here in Canada. So I think I just got a deck for free. Thank you, China. But I picked up these other ones, and what were they called? They're like a vampire type thing, but it's like an auto. Well, what do you call? What do you call? I'm on YouTube cruising. Are you cruising? Can you take me for a ride around YouTube? I'm gonna go cruising too. I don't get to go cruising. YouTube cruising. Now that's the first I've ever heard of putting that into a context, right? It's YouTube cruising, hey? Hey, are you picking up anybody? I'm coming. Oh, yeah, I want to go cruising. We should all just jump in Vinny's little cruiser mobile here for YouTube and go cruising too. We'll go hang out with Vinny for the night. Sounds like fun. I'm just kidding. I got work to do. I can't go anywhere. I'm stuck here on my couch. No, I'm just kidding, you guys. I have a Saturday night. I don't do a lot. Like my private life, I don't really do a whole lot. I keep to myself because I don't like absorbing the energy that people. Oh wow, we'll see cats playing a piano. Oh really? Oh man, I want to see kitties playing pianos. Yeah, that sounds like fun. Oops. Those two cards shot right out of the deck. Let's see what we got here. Oh, well, look at that. Look at this. There's a union happening. We have a king of swords and a queen of pentacles. So who's into the new relationship with this kind of positioning in your relationship? Who's the king and who's the queen? Or is that people finding their balance for the male and the divine female? There's definitely a union. Who is this? These ones shot literally out of my thing, out of my deck, and shot probably a good 4 inches off onto my table. So who is this, I wonder? Who is this energy? Cancer? The fire sign? I don't know. But it feels earthy. Who is it? That's what I'm asking you guys. Those ones popped out. Who's this energy that I just had shooting out of my thing? There's definitely a new union happening with two archetype energies. One is like an earth sign, the other one's a water sign. Oh, well, there you go. There's fire. Somebody's bigger than life. Oh, really? Huh. Well, who's the water sign then? What is going on? So you have like an earth sign, fire sign, and a water and earth sign. So the balance is between the earth and the earth is the first chart. Okay. So that's the first position is there. That was the first one. The second one is the male. So it could be that somebody is pursuing a new relationship, more balanced, more capable of being compatible, like a king and a queen, right? But being on the same page and the same level playing field for status quo type thing, you know. This partnership is going to be one hell of a relationship, but it's going to be a very balanced relationship, which kind of changes the correlation of what we were reading earlier in regards to the relationship was upside down. So this could be the next one, the new relationship that's happening, right? It's confirmation from the spirit world that they are going to be able to make compatible requests, like find people more suited, like like a king of diamonds or a king of satin, right? Balanced relationship is what we're all looking for. We're trying to find our equal partner, right? And that's the female is searching for this divine male. So a lot of the women the female energy is going to find the male energy or find balance within yourself. I'm just going to close my door. My cat opened it. Hi, baby. So it could be that you're finding balance within yourself due to a relationship that may be forthcoming, or you're requesting to have a relationship delivered to you. But that could be finding balance within yourself too, right? But I do see that the Queen of Pentacles is looking down at the Pentacle and wishing. It's almost like she's making a wish for this partnership to happen. I'm going to get a clarifying part on this because this is really, really, really cool considering we did that lover's reading at the very beginning of the video. Okay? Let's get a clarifying card. Please, Spirit, in regards to this King and Queen energy, please. So we're just going to pull some randoms here. We're going to get the results of that. Alright. Let's see what's the Queen and King of Pentacles. Is that personal or is that a relationship? What's going on with this King and Queen? Clarify this situation for us. Oh, young energy. Yeah, somebody's not getting their way. This is young energy. It's 4 cups underneath or upside down. So maybe this person is changing their attitude, growing up a little bit. It's not going to stay a young energy. It's listening to its advisor and not throwing like a young energy feel to the relationship. So it could have been somebody from that has a young energy that's growing out of it now. Like they don't have a choice but to come out of this attitude, like this young, it's time to grow up type thing, right? Not sitting there all arms folded and pouty, right? Because you don't get your way when you pout, at least not with me. But it's accepting the gifts that you're getting, not like if the universe is going to offer you something or if somebody's going to offer you something, are you really going to turn it down or are you going to just take it out of a reason to take it? You know what I mean? Like you don't want to accept the fact of possibly having to grow up in this relationship. Uh, Obviously, in this relationship, the female wants definitely more out of it. So there may be like a not a connection as far as spirituality. Whereas the king, I'm feeling that he's working more from the brain, logic, ego-based energy, right? Um, and the other one is working from the heart energy. The female part is the nurturing part, right? Um, so the universe is giving you things that aren't suited for you, right? So this could be a third party person that's jealous of this new relationship. There could be somebody else's ex-lover involved in this energy field that hasn't mended the ways of his old, tiresome childlike. I want to do this, and if I don't get it, I'm going to be like this. Like that very young, selfish. It's not good enough, right? Is what I'm seeing is that the universe is offering something, but the response for the universe is it's not my thing. I'm not liking it. I'm not accepting that. So it could be in a relationship that you're not accepting the part. You're not accepting the relationship based on the knowledge of having an ego instead of a heartfelt relationship, right? You know what I mean? Like sitting below and waiting for the right offer. That could be regarding the relationship that you've made a wish to meet this masculine, but it's not good enough. That's what I keep hearing. It's not good enough. So you keep refusing offers that the universe has created for you to be part of your life, and you're just refusing them. You are absolutely refusing. You're not settling for anything. Right? You're not just settling for a simple, relationship. Relationships aren't simple, right? But this could be the overall, it's not good enough. So the female or the male could be acting this particular style of attitude out within the relationship. Nothing is ever good enough. The queen's looking down at her pinnacle, going, "This isn't good enough." Like there's a lot of emotional healing that has to go on between the two of you. Um, the other one is definitely a water sign, like full of emotion for this masculine that's actually finally getting in tune. Whereas the queen is wishing for this to be, more than what it is. Like there needs to be more, attention given to this relationship, not like a selfish, it's not good enough and I only want the best. That's a fine way to look at things, but at this current state, uh, that's not doing your relationship any good, right? Because you keep turning down the offers. So how do you expect to move forward into a better position when you already are a queen? It doesn't mean that you have to settle for anything less than a queen, right? But you have a queen, so why are you asking for more from the universe? Is this going to be an ex that is envious of the relationship that you are currently in? or moved forward to, right? And they couldn't do enough for you, right? I know it, and that's the thing. It could be just that it's time to give up on that. That the universe doesn't, you know, the universe doesn't understand emotion. I don't think. I really don't think it really understands. I think that's more of a, to me, it seems more human-based reaction. Um, it's not like, your intentions, your vibration, right, is going out to the universe. Every time you talk, every time I say a word, it goes out to the universe and it gets imprinted on a thought stream, or gets imprinted into a person's life that way, right? And I've been able to do that. I don't like doing it. Yesterday, when I got mad, she pissed me off, and so she made me go from 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds. And I told her, go fuck. And I was mad. And when I get mad and my energy is like has majorly risen, if somebody was to call me out on an energy, and it was in regards to pissing me off to get what they wanted for me to say something, so it will resonate through the universe and create itself, right? I don't like that. I really don't. But if you're gonna say that I'm conjuring up stuff, then I'll make sure that I do just to give you a little bit of a head shake to realize it's not a fucking joke. Right? Yeah. So we're gonna get a dream oracle card. Let's see what we have in store for our subs for today's energy for tomorrow. Today, for the balance of today and for most of the day tomorrow. What is the energy focus, or what should we be focusing some of our energy towards, as far as healing, spiritual, physical? What is it that we want to start focusing our energy to, do some healing or balance? All right, I'm going to put the cards. Oops, get over there. Okay. So the card we're dealing with now, the trickster. So, based on that topic again. The trickster, the one that's trying to be deceptive. You can't pinpoint exactly what the trickster has in store for you. It's a 9, which 3, 6, 9. Oh, okay, that's the theory. Tricksters. I don't like them. I don't like deception. I don't like that energy of people, places, or things that try to trick you into believing something or believe something when there's no truth behind it. Right? Creating negativity in people's faces, playing, some people might not take it as serious, but some people won't even see it as a joke. It could be an entertaining energy that comes through, but it has a wrong intention, an unseen intention that could come into play, almost like spiral out of control. The dingo is a dog. What do you call those? Carnivorous? Is it? Dogs that are carnivorous. I can't even say that. The trickster is going to reveal itself. Do we need? How is this playing into our reading here? So a trickster is portrayed as an author. Hang on, I need my spectacles, people. Okay, so the dingo is an overconfident in many a tale. The simple dingo artlessly assumes that the world will support his needs. That was what I just said before the reading. That he will be welcomed and nurtured into his charm, and adaptability will carry him through. He represents each of us as we naively step out into the world on our own for the first time, ready to begin life. He symbolizes the immature character who continually and immediately acts on every impulse with little consideration or consequences of the outcome. an eagerness to venture out into a world to explore new horizons or try new things. Right? But how you got there is not really a more positive way of dealing with it, with having to almost trick the universe into making things better for yourself. So the dingo is keen to step out. However, he often fails to notice obstacles that present themselves on a day-to-day basis. A natural friend but socially inexperienced character, Dingoes often bites off more than he can chew. Wow, thanks for that. Then he sits licking his wounds in a confused state with when his actions are inevitably backfired on him. See, that's what we were going through, so I think that suits perfectly for how we did the lovers reading earlier as well, saying how there was like a lot of unbalanced energy there. So although Dingo ostensibly approaches the unaware of a penalties and pitfalls are usually appears painfully obvious to the more mature and streetwise among us. He teaches by example to learn from our mistakes and to life never take life too seriously. He exposes that long as we are able to laugh at ourselves and learn when we trip ourselves up, we will never again fall victim to our own illusionary tricks. So if the dingo has blundered your way into the cars today, you may be in need of stabilization. Perhaps you need to develop a greater sense of responsibility and more practical, conscious outlook on life. Are you obviously the hazards that are thwarting your true capabilities? Are you fooling yourself that you're precisely on course? Are you overly trusting and a little naive? Should you rethink things, reassess your current direction, and return to your original game plan? So it means like if you ended up getting off course and things aren't working in your favor, it's time to get out and reevaluate and get back onto the right track, right? Like everybody, you have probably made mere mistakes. It is now time to learn from them. You cannot expect your life to improve or serve you well when you insist on employing the same strategy with every new venture you embark on. Try approaching life with a more grounded, practical view instead of being misguided and whimsy and fancy. That's what I mean. That's a really positive part. That you can take that energy and flip it around so it is more constructive for you. Yeah, it's like a very like an impulsive kind of energy, right? You just kind of go and whatever takes you, the wind carries you in one direction, and then you're like, oh shit, I got off track, right? You see that trap? Yeah, I see that transport of trying to keep someone around that's toxic and they don't want to. That's true. You don't want to be around toxic people. They really make a mess of situations energy-wise. Um, you know, people that don't think before they speak. Um, but you're only in your own blockage. You are, like I said, you are the only one that's blocking this journey for yourself. Life isn't a party all the time. It does have some serious moments that people, actually follow different understandings of universal life. But in dingoes, they have a curly tail. They're kind of cute, but very elusive. I haven't ever met a dingo up close in person. But yeah, let's see what's on the bottom of the deck for us. Abundance. There we go. So, taking everything in and working from a better, more balanced situation will bring you more abundance, and it will just come in threefold, right? If you use the right intentions to bring those cards, to give them meaning, make it part of your life, make it part of your journey, right? So focusing energy on trying to stay more focused and take everything so, with a grain of salt at the same time, understanding the situation that is unfolding, right? Today went like that. Today, I had sat up last night after I had a few drinks. I don't like doing readings when I'm drinking drinks or anything like that. Right? So I sat up. My brother came, so he stayed here for a little while. Hung out with him, and it was like what, almost 3 o'clock before I went to bed. Right, just hanging out with my brother, chit chat, and you lose track of time. And I didn't even get out of bed until like 1:30 this afternoon. So I was feeling tired, but I felt good. I'm glad that I have the relationship that's understanding, and allows me to be me, and understands what goes on when I'm, in this kind of work. And he's blown away. He's like, I can't believe how well you do with it. You just have really found something that makes you happy to do. And he says, I haven't seen you happy in a long time. And it was like trying to figure myself out, right? But as far as today went by really quick. It's like already 6:30. We've already done an hour. It seems like, for me though, if you know what the time is going, right? But then you're sitting there going, okay, so what am I going to multitask today? And be lucky if I get like 7 or a few out of the 7 that I've written down. But most part, the first thing I really like to do is pull a card. I'm going to start doing pulling a daily card in the morning for the energy. So that's what I'm going to do for the morning video. That one I'll just do an upload. We'll keep our live readings. Remember, everybody has to subscribe before they get the one card of free driving. So how's Vinny doing? You don't have friends. I'm sure you have friends, Ashley. We are your friends, are we not? We are. Oh yeah. That's the thing. I've noticed that a lot of people's when you become more aware of the intention, like the whole idea of intention in itself, and you watch people, you can see the intention now. Like when you start doing this meditation and everything, and you learn to pick up on that vibration, and if they're doing right or if they're wrong. I don't know why that is or how that really works, right? But it blows my mind, right? That people always have an ulterior motive in everything they do, right? Like, why do you have to Brewski in college? Hey, you cannot be watching football. You have to watch basketball. Watch Eastern Arizona College is a school that my daughter plays on basketball, and she got a scholarship to go down. Right? I like watching underdogs. That's awesome. I usually like to watch the underdog. Yeah, a good what is it? A good I forgot the word now. I forgot what I was gonna say. But yeah, no, she plays. Okay, you go cheer on the underdog, and we'll talk to you later, Vinny. But yeah, no, my daughter plays for Eastern Arizona State College, and she actually is a 3-point guard, and she was the top of her league here in Canada for the Lower Mainland, Eastern Canada, or Western Canada Finals. She ended up becoming the best 3-pointer, right? So, easy High School Musical. Thanks, stop reminding me. Yeah, you enjoy your football. Cheer them on for me too. Go Georgia! Point. Well, let us know tomorrow who won. Hopefully, we're cheering for the right team here. Give them some energy. Cheers to you, Vinny, and have a good night. No, you are. So I don't know. Seems like the cards are all correlating around relationship today. Like your personal relationship, even with yourself, with another person, really needs to have some evaluating done, maybe on those ones that seem to be very trivial or energy sucking. Maybe it's time to kind of look back and just reevaluate, the purpose of, having that friendship or not having it, or lack of energy connection when you're dealing with people that you interact with on a daily basis, right? So long as you're putting a good foot forward in relationships, whatever they may be, usually, and generally, you don't really get screwed over too many times, but you just keep one foot. You don't have to jump with both feet all in, but you can just, put one foot in, test the waters, and see, if it's something that you want to allow to happen, then that's your choice. If you don't want it to, that's your choice as well. A lot of people are letting go of friendships that they've grown out of. Like, it's like high school. I don't hang out with any of my friends from high school still. I kind of grew out of that stage, and I made new interactions with people that are more beneficial to the spiritual end of things now, even. I don't find. So you're wondering if your first ex still thinks about you or misses you? Wow, how long have you guys been broken up? Oh, Elizabeth's here too. Hi, Elizabeth. I didn't even see you pop in there. I hope you've been doing well. So yeah, so I just think that relationships in themselves, either you stick with them and work with them, or you let them go and just allow them to be. Right? How are you doing, Elizabeth? How are things going from your reading? I haven't had an update. 17 or 18. Wow, that was a long time ago. Didn't you ask this question last time? I'm doing good. I'm, getting things done more and more every day, right? So my hair is just a mess today. I'm really hating my hair. It doesn't do anything that it's supposed to do. But that's okay. We'll live with it. It's really grainy looking, but makes my hair look like I didn't even brush it, but it's brushed. But anyway, I didn't straighten it today. Well, thank you. Thank you. Well, thank you very much. It's nice to get a compliment once in a while. But yeah, no, I'm just spending a little bit more time refocusing my energy since yesterday. So we're doing better today. Light a white candle, say a little trauma prayer, and then off to the races we go. Right? They're actually picking up. Well, that's awesome. That is awesome. I think I'm gonna color my hair green for Christmas. Oh, really? You do that? Let me know how it works. Mine's red for Christmas. It's called black cherry. I got cherry juice in my hair. Those damn cherries. I tell you, they stain everything. But yeah, no, we had that energy reading for relationships, for like any relationship that you're having. Um, you kind of have to also allow it to take its form, allow it to put you in a direction that you may be battling between should you stay or should you go. I think it was more allowing the person to kind of not feel suffocated as well. Um, they may be feeling like it's too much on them, or they just need to take a break, or a lot is like coming down on them from a relationship, whatever it might be. It's it happens with all relationships, whether it's a love relationship, a friendship, um, a mother and daughter, or father and son. Those kind of relationships are taking a very strange direction. And it's almost like it's the children teaching the adults now. You know what I mean? Like situations just don't seem the same, even with anything that I've even experienced a few bizarre relationships that you kind of look back and go, oh, that makes sense now. Why didn't I see it then? Because you're blocking your energy and just giving it and not paying attention. You go put yourself on autopilot, and it just seems to manifest right from there, just boom. That's why I don't like to autopilot long. I allow it through meditation. I autopilot because it's the best to do when you're going into a meditative state, your altered state, is to let go of all this emotion and physical drama or 3D drama, whatever you want to call it, and move forward with it, right? Um, some things are going to be like little mud puddles, but you'll be able to pull yourself out if you make yourself more more in tune with yourself. You'll understand the dynamic of yourself and how it works with others. And sometimes the information that you end up having revealed to you sometimes doesn't make a lot of sense, or it doesn't seem like it's going to be a benefit, right? But that's part of this life path. Nothing is going to be perfect. We're going to all run the same path sooner or later. Like we all have a path that we're running. Right? We're all going to end up meeting at the same place. Um, you know, but we're going to help whoever is, maybe having a struggle of understanding what the spiritual path is or how spiritual, this works for people, and just getting them to give it a shot because you are stronger than right? Meditation, I get to do, and immediately go into an altered state within like a matter of like 4 or 5 seconds. I can alter my state and be getting messages. Like that one that we did the other day for that girl that was sitting in. Uh, I channeled her mom I think it was 2 videos ago. By doing that, channeling for her and not using cards at all, just my meditative state, um, proved everything to her. She was shocked. She was like, "Oh my God, that's so like my mom." And that was really nice. It was, confirmation for, my abilities in a different sense, the altered state part, that I work forward in all the directions that I possibly can. And if something's not working, then I'll try a different avenue. It's like if you end up hitting, going down a one way, well, you're going to try to flip around and start going in the right direction, right? That, you thought you'd take a different route. And then may run into a dead end. You just have to reverse yourself, reflect on it, and then, flip your car around. Or, you know what I mean? Like you're on a road and you're flipping your car around, and you're like, oh, well, at least I know this for next time. It didn't work, but now I have to chop this up and put it in my memory so I don't end up going through this again. But being able to pull it out and reflect on it, keep reminding yourself of the situations that aren't working or you ended up hitting a dead end. And, some of them won't work, some of them will. Some you might be able to just, drive it over the grass if it's, just a curb, if you wanted to, I guess. You know, 30 seconds to just barrel over the grass, but then you're not being respectful of the universe in that sense. You know what I mean? Like you can't just jump lanes and expect it to happen just like that, right? If you're doing the right direction, you're following the rules of the universe, then you usually will have a very good result of experiences coming about, right? So that's kind of my plug for the day. So I smoke break. We're already at like an hour. So what is some of the experiences that people have had during your meditation when you've meditated? Have you been able to visualize, or do you want advice on how to do that? I don't know. Oh, that's good. I'm glad everything's on point for you. And it's all working in a positive direction. I'm really grateful that you're going to have new experiences. And hey, good luck with them. We really hope they work out. That's going to be awesome. It's always nice to look forward to something new, right? It's always nice to know that it's almost like Christmas time, when you get something that's coinciding and syncing with everything you're doing. It's just like Christmas time every day. Woohoo, let's party, you know what I mean? Like, that's awesome. I'm very happy that your work is going to be taking that change. That is so cool. I'm very grateful that I was able to help you with that. So that, I think it was the employment decision was put. You were worried about something about the work evaluation or something. How did that go? I hope the work evaluation went good. It must have, because you wouldn't be going into a new materializing in mid 2019. Was it right about the legal? Because I do remember doing your reading, and I know that it was like a legal end of things kind of working out. That's gonna be so awesome. I'm really excited for you just from the energy I was getting from that card. It's like, oh, I remember that. I remember your reading very clearly and the energy that it was giving out. It was amazing energy. Absolutely amazing. Good things come to those who wait. Not always, but for the most part, we try to, direct ourselves in the positive. Sometimes we hit the road bumps. The little bumps in the road. But yeah, you're a person. You're a human. You can make it through. You know. for the most part. Unless it's something that you've created with that intent to kind of go self on you, well, you got what you asked for. You know what I mean? That's why I don't try to put any negative about that. That's why I don't like doing some readings that are negative, but it's truth, and you only can work with it so that you're aware. Your awareness is a little different than, not going blind-eyed into it, not having a second or plan B or anything that's happening to be able to switch lanes in, right? You're not just stuck on a one lane, one way, right? When you realize that, things change. You can actually pull over to the slow lane and take a little Sunday cruise in the slow lane. If anybody gets mad, honks the horn, well, they can always go around, right? They can always go around. I'm taking my time. I'm enjoying this moment. You know what I mean? And that's my energy, right? I'm so excited for you, Elizabeth. I'm really grateful. I am so glad that everything worked out. Yeah, that's so cool. I'm happy. I'm very happy for you. Yeah. So we're hitting like 120. We're doing 120 now. No, never mind. That was just never mind. So yeah. So what other exciting things have come from the readings you guys have experienced here on Shaman channel? And actually, you're gonna have to send me a picture of it. You have to email me a picture of your green hair. Mine's already red. It's staying red for Christmas. That's it. But yeah. So I think it's time to buy a new feather. I lost the tip of it. My feather is really wounded now. The tip broke off, but that's okay. Still working. It still works. Right? It's still worthy of its time. But I'm gonna have to retire it soon. I think it's getting really worn out. Like there's like spots in it that are kind of wearing thin. Or whatever they call it. The big D. I like it though. I need to get a new one though. So I'm gonna probably go out looking in a couple of weeks. I'm gonna go look and see if I can find some. And if I do, you guys have the first rights to which ones. I'll try to at least hopefully find a few below a nest somewhere. Right? They've got to be there somewhere. So we're just gonna go look below the nest of some eagles up on the North Shore that we have always visiting us. I even had an eagle. This is about it's about 10 years ago, and I was living up in like about 5 or 6 blocks away from where I am now. And we had heard this big crash, like a tree brush breaking, right? And all I hear was this crash, bang, boom, branches snapping and everything. So me and the landlord that I was living at in the basement came outside, and there was a mama eagle and a baby eagle on the front of our driveway. Like it had crashed into the tree coming into the landing, and it didn't know how to land. So it fell out of the tree. And those suckers are so huge. Like I stand 5'4", and he must have been at least almost 3 feet standing next to me. Right? And then his wingspan probably from, I don't know, it must have been about 12 feet from tip to tip. And it actually missed my head by about this much when it went to take off. And that was the most weirdest feeling, to have an eagle fly over your head. Like spiritual, that's like an omen from all spirit, right? Because the eagle is the most highest ranked spirit animal that can actually assist you in your journey. And when I had 2 of them land in my driveway that year, that was enough confirmation for me as to where I need to go with my direction. What I was focusing on was not what I should have been doing, right? And it didn't work out, but now here I am, and this is where it is. And to have that come and create energy with me was the most humbling experience I could ever even experience. At any given time in my life, that's the most humblest I have ever really felt. And having that close, it's almost like that Free Willy movie where he reaches up to touch the whale when he jumps over the lake and over that wood shelf thing, or that rocky cliff thing that they were standing on in Free Willy. and he reaches up to touch him. I could have done that, but I freaked out. I just froze. I didn't even move. I went, ooh. You know what I mean? Like, it was the most amazing experience that I will never forget. Having an eagle standing next to me, like literally within 2 feet of me, and then just take off with its wingspan and actually miss my head. You know, could have reached out and touched somebody that day. But yeah, so you know, it's excitement. It is. It's an experience that I'll never probably experience again. You know what I mean? Like it'll be very chances of that happening ever again are probably 1 in 1 million. Probably. The probability is not really there for it to happen again, unless I'm in like maybe an area where there's a bunch of them, right? But yeah, no, eagles are the most majestic animals as far as spirit realm power animals is an eagle, right? So it's the closest one that can get to spirit as far as the angels, or as far as spirit animals go. The eagle is the closest one that can take majority of the energy and have it brought up, right? So it's the elite of the elite birds, so that's something new you guys can learn. But, I don't know if anybody else has had experience as far as spirit animals that have manifested in 3D for you. It's, possible, and I tell you it is. I used to see little black shadows running across my floorboard, and little shadows like little animals like cats and dogs, little tiny animals, and I live only a block away from an animal cemetery. My brother even found the cemetery, and I thought, yes, it's an animal cemetery. I used to have little shadows of animals that have passed coming through, right? So that's kind of cool. But there are things like that happen. I'm sure you think that you're seeing something out of the corner of your eye that's black and it's of a mass. Just acknowledge it's there and be grateful that it's revealing itself towards you. Like it's nothing you need to fear. It's not going to harm you. It's never going to harm you because it can't manifest into a physical being. It stayed in a spirit form. The only way that I've ever had to deal with spirits or anything negative was through dream state, right? Having my lucid dreaming and dream state when I'm sleeping, and literally wake me up right out of my bed with fear, right? Because I wasn't ready for it. But I took the balance and took the situation and did meditation, met my spirit guide, and yeah, focusing on everybody else and still looking at that little portal for everybody that's beyond these little windows in my eyes matters. Because I never see myself. And that's the way it should be in life. You never see yourself. You focus your energy on everything externally to make it positive. Right? Don't internalize a lot of stuff that you see. That's dangerous too. Like the card said, we have endurance, the bingo, realizing, what is the limit, what, position you want to take after to be in a more positive, but not overbearing. You know what I mean? So that was the theme of today was relationships and how to manifest more healthier ones. I think it's kind of the theme that we should go with this video and just focus on those relationships. See if there's a different way that maybe you've been lacking in them or not showing enough support to a person or they're not showing enough support, but reevaluate. Take note of them. You don't have to solve them, but you should take note of them and see what the emotion around that is creating for you. If it's creating negativity, then cut your cord with it. If it's creating, positive, and you kind of like, it kind of is, and it kind of isn't, you know what I mean? Look at the more positive notes and see if it's worth keeping. If it's not, it's like, spring cleaning your spiritual life. And you can spring clean anytime you want when it comes to spiritual work. Even if you're just sitting there, just kind of zoned out, just thinking about things, and notice what you're thinking about. Right? Notice what the emotion that's attached to it, whether it be a purposeful for both parties or if it's just a one-sided, somebody just wants stuff from you. These are all different aspects of relationships that you need to look at. You might be surprised as to some of the relationships that you do have that really aren't working. And when you stumble across them, it sucks. because you don't want to let anything go. Right? We don't want to hold on to, things and have, meaning to our life. But it doesn't mean that you have to settle within your life to have meaning, right? Words of the day. Do not settle for a meaningful life. Settle for having the life be meaningful, or meaning. Have your life have meaning, right? Create that meaning and your purpose for wanting to be you, right? Allow yourself to feel that and let yourself come through. People will, either like you or not like you. That's just the way it goes, right? That's what my partner used to tell me. He says, you know, you're gonna piss people off, and people are gonna piss you off, right? There's nothing you can do. You just, you know, you ask five people the answer, four of them give you the right one. Maybe you should check it out. That's what my other partner else is. Right? He was taught these things and how to, kind of go through life and think more or less for himself and be able to be evaluating his personal life. Right? Because it's manifesting, it's the familiarity that you created with this person. So it's just like residual energy as far as their name. It's maybe there's something that you subconsciously absorbed when you were in a relationship and that you didn't actually cleanse out. Like there's some deep meaning there, deep energy connection still, and it's residual energy. You just have to work through it. Things that remind me of the synchronization. It's because you haven't let it kind of come up as an emotion yet, and so you're still carrying that energy with you. So your subconscious has already probably figured that out. That it's keeping it because it doesn't want to let it go. It's your subconscious, I believe, is what my understanding would be of things coming like that. Like I've had experiences where I was seeing my exes walking around, like things that would remind me of him. It was because I didn't cleanse all that energy and leave it where it was. I carried a few things with me in my spiritual end that I never should have brought with me. I should have just left them there at the relationship. But I took them in because I should have evaluated them when I had them. But as far as seeing someone's name everywhere, that's probably your subconscious just being a reminder because it's a familiar experience to you. And when you're approaching the new unknown, it can be sometimes scary. So it's just giving you comfort in knowing that you had a comfortable relationship, but at the same point, it wasn't working, right? So the brain doesn't understand why you left. The brain doesn't understand why you stuck around or why you stepped out on the person or whatever it may be. Your subconscious doesn't understand that. It just confused everything that it's learned, right? It's just back out like a machine. And it's just something that you probably have to work through on an emotional or spiritual level. If you want to still continue a friendship, that's your choice. It's giving you options, but it's also giving you a reminder of remember what happened last time, or remember what happened when you were here. You know what I mean? Like it's giving you time to reflect on everything that's happened as far as that relationship is concerned. That maybe there's something that you need to work with or work from, right? You know what I mean? You're manifesting too much into that person if this is bringing you uneasiness. If it doesn't bother you that you're seeing it everywhere, then let it be. Just let it lie, because it doesn't have to stay there, right? It'll choose itself. It'll gradually work its way through. Uh, we're all going to have memories of relationships. That's just a given. You can never fully give 100% of the relationship away or not deal with it 100%. You're still going to have some connection to that person because you had an experience with them. So it's always going to be in your experience file, regardless of how hard you want to try to clear it. There's still going to be something there reminding you of them, but it's reminding you why, right? Or how. Your brain asks how come kind of situation when it's dealing with energy. It's more like how come this, how come that, how come this, how come that. And your brain is not like a supercomputer if you're allowing it to not understand from your own spiritual perspective. You have to teach your brain a new way of thinking, right? You have to kind of push that one to the side and allow new memories to be happening, right? Just file it away in the box, up here. Just file it away because you'll never get rid of the experience. The experience is stuck with you, regardless of how hard you work at it. It's still going to bring back situations, you're still going to end up, in future, say 10 or 12 years, you're going to think back to, that relationship and think, wow, that was really crazy, right? But then you just pack it away. It's like looking through a photo album. You got all these pictures of when you were younger, and you looked at them, they become part of you, and it's hard to not see it any other way, right? Because that was the experience that you had, right? So it could be correlation to what the experience is that's going on around you, or what are triggering your brain to think about, and not even realize that it's thinking about that until you actually take notice of it, right? That's kind of the way I look at it. I think about my exes too. I'm not saying that I would want to be with them though, but like the experience in itself is, never going to go away. It's up to you, depending on how much you want to think of the situation, right? So if you're putting energy into it, it's going to give you energy back, right? Very, very direct, which is a good thing, right? Because we all have to heal and be able to pack away those photo albums from when we were little and still keep the memory, but keep the visual, or the remembering of the relationship, right? That's what I think. That's my opinion, though. That's how I perceive it. All right. I am getting cold. I gotta turn my heater on. 1 second. Oh, the lights are still on. I forgot. I gotta move my heater. 1 second. So yeah. There we go. Okay. So, does that kind of help you, or you can even do it without having headphones to meditate. I've done it where I've just put my phone on and just listen, to it. It's all how you want to take the experience. When you get better, when you get really good at it, like a lot of these manifestations that you're doing, you'll start understanding and recognizing the triggers that are causing these memories to pop up. Right, so it's just reminding you of the experience. It's kind of imprinted into your brain, regardless. Right. So yeah, so I'll have to look up the best description I can give is something like that. Right? Does that happen to you when you're thinking of someone and go there? Yes, it has. I end up getting phone calls. That's you being connected, with a tether almost. It's like an invisible spider line that you connected with that person, right? The energy has been connected. And, I don't know how that really 100% works, but I can tell you that it does. I've experienced that where you end up thinking about someone and the same day even we'll run into them, which, I've thought about somebody for like 2 months ago and I just ran into them like a week ago. You know what I mean? Like it's the energy that you're placing to the universe, and it's almost like a spiritual connection. Like you can do like prayer, or you can do. It's reminding you of these relationships that you're having, right? It's reminding you of these people that are part of your life that haven't interacted. It's almost like, how would you say? It's almost like it's going through its own Rolodex and saying, "Oh yeah, okay, well this one, this one, this one, this one." That's what you're thinking about, right? Like you're going through a Rolodex of people in your relationship. Even your subconscious is working, and you don't even realize what's working, what it's working at, right? Until it actually happens to you, right? So if you're thinking, say, I'm gonna run into somebody, or I'm thinking about, my best friend from high school, and end up getting an email, even though I don't communicate with her regularly. Still once in a while we touch base, but it's like, I would be like, pops into my head about someone that I haven't seen in like 15 years, right? And then all of a sudden, boom, I haven't run into them after like, not seeing them for almost 5-6 years, right? And then you run into them, it's like they just replaced there, just like dropped right in front of you, right? That's like manifestation of a person, Right? That's another spiritual aspect that people don't understand happens and don't accept it just for that. They always want to know how it works, why it works, what can I do to do that? Just remember how you did it in the first place, right? And what works for you is not going to work for me. It's not going to work for the other person sitting in the bed in the room, or in the circumference of the energy field, right? So you can sit there and your experience is not going to be the same as it will be. Like no, your experience of energy and spirit work will be the same, just different results, right? The experience in itself will always be the same, but you'll get a different result because that's what you're asking your brain to do, right? You're thinking, it sends it out. It's almost like a teletype, message that goes over, the waves, and it just ends up hitting somewhere, right? It pings, and it's like, okay, and they just end up being brought into your timeline. That's your interaction, like your spiritual interaction. It's like weaving a web, weaving it all the way through, and you always see if you're doing it with a good intention to the universe. You can even manifest, items the same way. I know my partner can do this really good, and I don't know why it works for him. It worked for me once. I was thinking about a pair of shoes that were for his mom, and she had made a comment about these sandals she had seen someone wearing, and I said, well, those are neat. Then, like 2 days later, I was riding past the house, and brand new pair of sandals was sitting on the lawn, giving away, just brand new, not even worn. And so I grabbed them and gave them to her, and I don't know if she ever wore them, but that's how quickly you can manifest when you become and I'm a master number 11. I've done this before in my other lifetime. That's why it was so easy for me to do it here, right? In the past life, you know. Um, it's crazy. It really is. It's getting to know your past life. I still want to go and do a past life regression and see how many lives I've lived. But it's people that can pull this out of you and hypnotize you to get this information from your deep in your subconscious that was still implanted there. Because your soul just takes on a reincarnation of another physical being, just in a different aspect. We're not all created the same, right? Uh, but we do have similar experiences. That is just the inevitable. That's called the communal, universal love kind of thing going on for a lot of people. Um, I just do it through meditation. Jason Stevenson is one of the meditation people that I do like listen to regularly. He was the one that really opened up my Pandora's box for me when doing meditation and listening to the binaural beats and things. I had some of the wildest visions and experiences while I was sleeping, and like feeling like I was in a actual coffin, being buried alive underground, and then transporting from that spot into like a blackness, looking down through little portholes that you see on ships and stuff, and seeing my children, and everything else being around that was completely dark, right? So it was telling me to focus on my children. Uh, that my children are my priority, which they are. Don't get me wrong. My children are my priority, but at that point, we weren't talking. We weren't just, having conversations. We were kind of estranged from each other for a little bit. And that's what that came through, that I need to make that figure out a way to make that back to the way it used to be, right? So it's a rude awakening, and very makes you notice. You will never forget the experience once you end up having that experience. And I did it with Jason Stevenson, meeting my spirit guide. Okay? And meditation, practice at it, work at it, and you'll be able to have the same experiences because so many people do. And there isn't really anything that can stop you from doing it. It's your personal aspect. I jumped in with both feet. I would recommend starting with the beginner. I just went, random. If you can handle that and you're very spiritually attuned, you should be able to handle the more advanced ones that they recommend not to do without help, right? I did them, and it never freaked me out. Like, I never thought that I was actually dying, but it was so real that I felt like I was like channeling out of my body, right? But I didn't physically leave it yet, except for the one where I felt like I was in an actual coffin, which was mind blowing in itself. Right? But it's your personal experience. It's what your subconscious wants you to understand. You know, or whoever you're connecting with or connected to throughout your life path. Right? Whoever you've interacted with is going to have a residual effect on you because it's a memory. Right? We're always have the memory. That's why they say you can never forgive, but you can forget. Or you can't forget. You can forgive, but never forget. That's what it is. You don't have to get rid of it completely, but keep that memory as, file it in the whatever file box up here in the brain is, and allow it to be. Just let it go, and if it comes back, then at least it's giving you a reminder saying that I'm here. Hello, I'm over here. You know what I mean? It's like waking you up, going, "Hey, remember me?" You know what I mean? And that's what the memory kind of looks like in my head. It's dancing around, going, "Hey, do you remember me? Hey, do you remember me?" You know what I mean? Like I got like little cards dancing in my head, in my brain. It's kind of cute. Like you can perceive that, use your imagination to create that, right? And that's what it's kind of like for me. Is we've got these little dancing cards with waving hands, going, "Hey, what about me?" But it's cool. I love doing, making it fun to do, right? It doesn't have to be a traumatic experience to have that happen, but they do happen. I'll just give you the warning that if you do end up going into meditation and something like that happens, always remind yourself before starting the meditation that you are in control. Because the minute you lose control, the dream will overtake you. And that's where nightmares begin. And that's what I don't like. I always like to stay in control when I go to sleep. If I'm not feeling in control, I won't sleep. I don't like going to sleep when I'm not in control of my dreams, right? Especially after you have a few nightmares of it. It's not fun, But also discuss them, if you have the experiences happening to you, discuss them with people, let it come out and let it be, dealt with and allow it to breathe, like they say. It's like opening a bottle of wine, you let it breathe for a minute or two, and then you finish the bottle of wine. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, it's just a memory box. It's like there isn't anything in my life that I would change to not be in this predicament. I would probably change a few things so it would have stayed with me all my life, which it mostly did, but I was denying its existence. I didn't want to acknowledge it because I was told I was crazy, that it's not normal thinking. Well, they still tell me that. But hey, I'm walking, and talking and happy to be alive every time I can. Right? So when you're happy to be alive and everything is going good, we don't really think about a lot. When you start getting the negative happening, that's all it seems to be happening around because you're focusing your energy on that negative feeling, not the positive experience that you did have, and talking it up. Right? Oh, Sunny Face Lee, how are you doing? We'd like to get a love reading. All right. Pre-reads. You get one pre-read when you come here. You become part of the family, and you end up getting a chance of getting more pre-readings if you subscribe. So if you subscribe, then we can do a little bit longer reading. Trying to get the subscriber count up. So, subscribe and we'll do a reading. Not a problem. That's not a problem. Gotta be a subscriber to get free readings. Oh, did you? Oh, okay. All right. Did you really? I wasn't sure if that was the same Sunny. I don't really pay attention to much to the names when I'm really doing readings, or just kind of ranting. But we are. You want a love reading? I wonder if we should use the. Which one's the one? I don't want to use the Rider-Waite ones for that. Okay, so we're gonna do one read for Sunny Face. Okay, we're gonna use the Dream Animal Dreaming Oracle cards. Alright. I saw a triangle. I don't know if this is. Could this be a triangle? A love triangle showing up? Okay. Wisdom. past, present, future. Well, knowing what you know based on this relationship, right? Use what you've experienced from past relationships and make sure you don't repeat them with the new relationship that's coming in. Um, you know, your current state is that you're looking for a partner. You're doing like that. You know how they say that birds do that random dance when they're actually mating or courting each other. That's what I see in the current situation. Somebody is kind of like a male peacock and spreading his plume at you, right? I see that there's somebody that will make you actually want to manifest that energy, and you're going to transform from the dance, doing a dance of healing and putting it out there like a male peacock in the plume, like looking all pretty and make yourself look good, attract a better person than what you've had in the past. If you look after yourself and you actually are able to dance like a gorgeous swan, like this one here, how it looks like it's so let's see, I handle that. But it's doing, I don't know if you can see that, but it's like a swan with its head cocked up and dancing pretty, right? So you're like, yes, I'm worth it, and I'm going to do this. Like I'm so gorgeous, beautiful, positive, happy, dancing all over the place, got the music going, just being yourself, right? And how beautiful just being yourself can pay off, right? Don't worry about being restricted. Just dance, and who cares what anybody else says. This is what you're doing to prepare yourself for the next relationship. And avoid deception. Avoid people that are deceiving. You'll be able to recognize that. The deception that may happen in the future is maybe a warning sign of maybe not that person. That could be in correlation of the perception of what you're seeing is probably not the most healthiest, right? Um, let's see what that one has to look for. Uh, okay. Okay, so you are being cautioned that you are perhaps being deceived by apparently innocent motives of others. So they probably aren't even realizing that they're being deceptive. The motivation of others is not with the perfect and good intent. So that be wary of that. Be aware of that situation happening. That could bring you a few steps back from not wanting to dance. Be a little bit more guarded and protected now. You won't allow for that deception to become part of your experience. But to be aware that there are people out there that are only in it for one thing, right? Relationships, right? Um, yeah, so that's maybe being aware of these deceptions before they happen is probably a best approach to when creating a new relationship. If people are coming back being deceptive, uh, just just be aware of that. Like it should not ever affect you from making you feel good about yourself. They could be deceiving you in the sense of, telling you what you want to hear in lieu of what they really want. You know what I mean? Like they only tell you what you want to hear, and that's what they're going to do. So just recognize that people are just answering just to appease you, and if you have to get to the root of it, be aware of it. Ask them. Be proactive on it and say, hey, listen, when you said this to me and blah 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 blah, why are you saying it like this? And why are you trying to make it affect me when you know that the intention is not pure of heart? So why would I want anything to do with it in the first place, right? So because we don't like being deceptive, but you have your back turned. Like this could be even somebody that's deceiving behind your back, right? Because I do see the owl as ready to fly in and swoop down and pick up a rat, a mouse or whatever in the field, right? They've got sharp eyesight skills to be able to see a mouse running on the ground, right? So they're already tuned in to being able to do this for you. They're already tuned in. They're masters at deception. Whoever this is going to do this and swoop in without you even noticing, right? So be careful of that. That this animal is going to swoop in and possibly, be there, and then, they're gone, right? Long enough to grab the mouth out of there. You know what I mean? Um, so knowing that you have all that knowledge up there of these past relationships showing up, be aware that there are going to be some that you won't even see coming, and it will just come and grab you, right? You know what I mean? Um, don't let anything grab onto you or attach themselves to you, energy-wise or spirit. Always make sure that you're clearing your energy, so you don't have to deal with deception. And ask the universe to offer you protection from these deceptive people, right? Um, but there's definitely going to be, like the barn owl, it lives, during the day and works at night, right? So this could be somebody working from a darker state of being, like not working with the good intention at all for you. And it just kind of like they're shrugging you off just to get what they want, right? So that's the outcome card is the magic raven. And the magic that they may try to create or manifest with like the magician type thing is not going to work in their favor. It's in reverse. So if they're calling upon, darker forces to make a manifestation of something towards you, I would be careful of. There could be some people out there that will try to cause you severe harm. And just be aware that it's all happening behind your back. And if you're feeling that something's going on behind your back, your instinct's probably right, because the cards are saying that. You have to be very careful of the deceptive approach of people, right? So, you know, see, and that's the not best way to approach it is to be continually aware. Don't get caught up in them. Don't get caught up in them. Is what I'm hearing. That's what they want. They want you to put them on a, high in the sky and then worship them, right? So be careful of that. So we're going to see what the raven has to say now. Ravens are very neat animals. I really actually do like them now. I never did before, but I get them coming around whenever I'm doing readings and stuff, and they'll be sitting outside my house. Um, Somebody's going to work from a darker energy, like they're not doing it with good intention. There's an ulterior motive behind it for what they're doing, the reason for it. So it could be, but it is definitely pointing towards you. So it could be even somebody having negative thoughts about you, negative um, voices towards you. You know what I mean? Like talking behind your back, or you know, people that you're going to interact with. Somebody is using dark, like the dark energy, like oh, I wish she would just piss off and die, or like making manifestations within the universe, sending out a vibration of negativity around you all the time, right? That's what I'm worried about. But you're too busy dancing to pay attention. But you should be paying attention to the ones that are deceiving. This could be a new relationship that could be very well, but it's waiting. It's patiently waiting for the right time to attack. Right? See, like, look at the little owl. He's like ready on his perch. So if he's ready to roll on in, he just doesn't know if he's gonna make it. You can see that. I'll move closer because I know when I get really close, you can see it. So it's like ready to lift off, right? So the law is like, watch, he's got his eye on the kill, and he's waiting for his perfect moment just to swoop down and catch that little mouse. So that could be somebody that's looking at you and not had good intentions. Their intentions are kind of off. But the Raven, what does the Raven have to say here? Magic. The Raven has paid you a visit from the void today. You are being asked to honor your innate ability to create magic and participate in the sacred act of prayer. When you pray, you must do so with reverence, appreciation of spirit, or gratitude the very life given to you at the time of your birth. Right? So that's making sure that you're paying direction to the universe for allowing you this experience, right? You need to honor yourself before you honor anybody else. Our prayers must be made in honor of the Earth Mother and recognition of all living creatures, and they must be made with the firm belief that all people shall someday look into spirit and find the courage to walk as one. When you pray, you should ask for the best way to positively honor the way of spirit and seek blessings of those closest to your heart. When you finish, spend a little time in silence to honor the void if the silence is sacred and no words are necessary, right? So it's just reminding you just to be grateful for your life at this point. Worry about yourself. Don't worry about, a lot of the things that are externally affecting you. You need to go internally to understand that your spirit is very important to the universe, right? Not in a negative way, that, you have a positive reason for being here, to live, to enjoy, to not have, to worry about anything negative, right? So just be, aware for yourself, and that's what you need to just worry about. You're not really having to worry about um, a relationship right now, but some growth and experience before, a relationship might be the best interest for you. And allowing those energies just to, try to come down and make an approach to you, but failing at their success, or making them fail at the success of gaining it, right? So yes, you have all the strength within you to carry it forward, right? So we have 38, 16, 46, 55, 75, so that's a 9. What's that, 9 in numerology. Hang on 1 second. Where's the look up? 1 second, I just want to clarify this. Okay, so I'm just checking. Oh, okay, so yeah, so like we were just talking about the experience of prayer, right? So the number 9 is showing up because you have 38, 8, 4, and 25 is 75, which comes to a 9. And if you have like a religious belief, this may work. I'm just going to. Uh, okay, so the angel number 9. Is not such a number which you may encounter repetitively through you notice it. You do not realize the angels are trying to make contact with you. In your mind, you think as a coincidence or don't give much notice. You may have come across the angel number 9 repeatedly, for example, whenever you look at your watch or dog. Right? Your service to humanity, your selflessness, your generosity, and your brilliance are all linked to angel number 5. Right? These are not coincidences in your mind. This is what it's telling you not to shrug it off as, oh, no, it's just kind of weird. Why'd that happen? You know what I mean? Like, don't just shrug off the experience. Have the experience be part of it. Be aware of the experience, right? So that's your synchronicities. You can look into angel numbers. I usually do, what is the number? The angel numbers, I usually deal with one site that has really, really awesome ones. I have one that I usually do. I can't remember the name of it. Sacred Scribe, Joanna Sacred Scribes is the best website that I have found that gives you a very good meaning. So if you're seeing like numbers, it's your angels and your oracles coming through that give you some direction as to a path or a decision that is done on your behalf. So this one is number 9 is the number of universal love, eternal faith, spiritual law, karma, spiritual enlightenment, and spiritual awakening. Service to humanity, humanitarianism, and humanitarian light worker, for example, philanthropist, self-sacrifice, destiny, soul purpose. Check out the number, right? So angel number 9 is a sign from the angels that your life path is and soul mission involve being service to humanity and use your natural skills and talents. Angel number 9 suggests that you are a light worker and encourage you to look towards serving others positive, uplifting ways. Right? So donating your personal aspects, right? But go to Joanna Scribes. So, mm, 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 put the link in put the link in the chat here for you guys. So that's the link that you can go and check like for yourself. Because I know that some people like to have some privacy when they're dealing with stuff, so maybe that will help you a little bit more on your path and understand in a more universal way things are working. That it'll give you some insight, and they're very detailed, so you'll get, quite a bit. I just did it because that's the numbers that were showing up with this reading. So, your journey's just beginning, then enjoy it because you're in a heck of a positive experience, and so long as you allow the positive to flow, right? And don't let people, don't have people, tell you how to do it, right? Do whatever resonates with you. And if you feel like doing something, then go ahead. If not, then, that's totally your decision. I just give the advice and the direction for people to be able to move forward. All right, so we're heading to 2 hours. We're going to probably do, I'll do one more reading before I leave here. I don't know who's here, but we got 6 people. You're most welcome, my darling. So check out that one. That's a link to the angel numbers that I've learned to use for my benefit. So with that, I guess we're not doing any more readings. We're gonna call it quits. Thanks for all the thumbs up, you guys. I really appreciate the support and just trying to get my sub count up too. So if for the next time that I come on, you'll be able to get a free reading if you subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button and be happy. Be positive when you come in. If there's something that you want to discuss personally, you can send me an email, Joanna at Johnson Carden, that's Karrn, at gmail.com. Send me an email there, or you can send me an email to shamanemmie333 if you want. In regards to, a future reading or a private reading, you can check in there. All right. All donations can be made to PayPal.me/Mystic Shaman 333. That's my PayPal account for donations. We'd be happy to, be grateful for the donations. They do go back into keeping this channel going. Like the PayPal goes towards supplies like cards or candles or incense. Everything gets regenerated back into the channel. So, we're working on new cards as we speak. Found out that one of them's been delayed. So we'll see. Hopefully it'll show up this week. You never know. So any news and announcements, we're going to be trying to find. I'm thinking about doing it at 3:33 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I think it's the time that I should start doing. Just by 6:30, you guys on the East Coast. I want to keep you all in the loop with readings and stuff because they're really awesome, and just seeing how others' readings work out too is really cool. How to better direct them. Sometimes they're not good, sometimes they are, but it gives you the good and the bad things that you need to be aware of, and it could be possibly negative. But it's how you perceive it, and if you want to perceive it as negative, or you want to perceive it as advice or directional, that's more awareness when it comes to a direction you want to be heading in towards. So it all changes, and it all changes with a blink of an eye, or one choice that could change the whole experience. It could bring you into a more happier state of being. It could bring you into a more negative. It's how you want to resonate with it. And if it is coming as negative, think of it as a speed bump, and you have to, know that it's going to be there, but if you know ahead of time there's a speed bump coming, then at least you'll be better prepared, right? So with that, I say cheers to you all. Remember to love, like, share, and comment on the video. And if you want to leave a message or a comment down below, feel free to do so. Always checking back, to see how things go. And I wish you all the best and happy tidings. And we are going to uh, have some amazing things happening on the show. We will probably be doing random readings, spirit box. You can expect almost anything to happen on this show. I'll tell you that much. But yeah, hopefully the viewers that were watching, cross watchers, whatever, or other readers, hope you enjoyed the show because this is my reality, and this is the reality for many others. This is not a joke. This is not a game. These people are human. They deserve to have truth given to them, not bullshit upon bullshit. And that's why there's no sugarcoating with my reading. So if you can handle the truth and take it objectively, then hang out and have some fun. If not, I do hope that you may be able to find yourself and find direction so that you don't have to feel that way. If there's anything that I can do to help that or alleviate that for you, feel free to ask. I'm here for service and free advice. So I'm out of here. I hope you all have a blessed evening. Also had a really good, positive discussion period too today, which I really enjoy. I enjoy discussing things, based on my opinion and my experience. Um, you know, that's how we like to do things. Um, so yeah, so Daisy put the email, everything in the uh, chat box and description. Also has the information too. So hopefully we'll see you all next time, and you have a blessed evening. This is Emmy Shaman signing out. Good luck. Until next time, be safe, be aware, and be honorable. All right? Bye.